Black women. I forgot to read you a comment with regards to the situation with Smiles and the Twisted MD. This was a comment that was left by Rexy1, REXYREX1. And I'm going to read this comment, and then I'm going to go ahead and move on to the primary topic of this video. But this is how it goes. Rexy Rex1 responds to Emperor Esau. And it goes a little bit like this. I agree with you about black women getting upset with biracial girls. People need to judge by character and not color and stop assuming the worst about others. Black males for years put light-skinned biracial girls, women on a pedestal, and put down dark-skinned girls, women. These males destroyed some dark-skinned girls' self-esteem at an early age, and the pain has carried into their adulthood. Often these women take their anger out on biracial women. Actually, they are focusing their anger on the wrong group. It should be on the black males that are colorless. Light skin is no better than dark, and dark skin no better than light. My biracial son does not know anything about colorism because it is not in our family. It is an ignorant sickness like racism. I will not say all, but I do believe that black women, white men raise their children different from white men, black women. Some black males are with white women because of their own insecurities with their blackness. Some black males want biracial children to make themselves feel better and distance themselves from blackness. So some of their biracial children pick up their parents' negative ideas about blackness and may think they are better. Also, their white mother may already think she is better than black women and may raise her biracial kids to think the same way. But I believe most black women do not raise their biracial children to think they are better than anyone else. Also, white men do not have the same insecurities black males may have because they are already the most privileged group in this country. White men do not have to prove anything to anyone. They just live their lives. Okay, I want you to absorb that and, just, you can take it any way you want, black women. But it leads to the topic of this video. And then I gotta go. It's 8:44 and I gotta go. I got a lot of shit to do today. I went Christmas shopping about a week ago. I think it was a week and a half ago. Yeah, I was trying to pick up some items, and I was at Target. If you ever come to downtown Los Angeles, there's a place called 7th and Fig, and it's a beautiful shopping complex, really nice. Victoria's Secret, H&M, Gold's Gym, I think is there, and it's a Target. And, the lines were long, and I was, waiting to get the fuck out. And there was an interracial couple behind me. They were behind me. When I'm standing in line, I look around. I keep my eyes open. I watch my back. I look around. And, I didn't pay any attention to it. I turned back around, and, I'm one of those people, I pick up a magazine, and I start reading it until I get closer and closer to the cashier. And the lines were really long, and not all of the cash registers were open. So there was a cashier that walked over to me because I had already I was behind one person. There was the next person to be waited on by the cashier. So I was still on the outside. I hadn't quite reached, that where you place your items on and then it rolls over to the cashier and you put like a divider, so the next person behind you can put their stuff down. So one cashier, she walked over to me because I was the next person in line. And she goes, ma'am, this register's open. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, I had a lot of stuff, right? And so I'm getting ready to move over to the line that's getting ready to be opened by the cashier that, walked over to me and said, you're next in line, right? So the couple behind me, they rushed and got right in front of me. I couldn't believe it. And so the black guy in front of me, he turned around and looked at me like, bitch, say something. Say it. And I'll let my woman say whatever the fuck she wants, and if you try to put your hands on her, I will fuck you up, bitch. It was that kind of look. And so, you got to pick your battles very carefully. There's a time and a place for everything, black women. So, I didn't say anything. I waited until they put their stuff on there. And then, I put my stuff down. But it got me thinking. And then I went back to Smiles and the Twisted MD. And it got me thinking. And then I started thinking about, all of the non-black women this year that have said a lot of racial shit about black women. That football player's fiance, what's his name, Charles Leno, and, just all the other, non-black women, mostly white women that have said racist things, And I'm thinking to myself, black men not only protect these women, but they encourage it. They encourage it. They encourage non-black women to be bigoted and prejudiced and racist and say it in our face. And they're protecting them, they're right by them. So I want you to understand something. You must be very careful when you're out and about, because as I said before, we got a lot of people that are against us. And a lot of non-black women are getting more and more comfortable calling us bitches, the N-word, calling us monkeys and apes. And black men are standing right by, just protecting them. So if you try to stand up for yourself, you're going to be dealt with. Black men are protecting these women, and they're encouraging these women to be very racist and disrespectful towards us. I'm glad that I didn't act out when I was in Target. I'm glad that I had enough common sense to just sort of step back, because it got me thinking, they're going to do this to the wrong black woman that's not going to give a fuck about going to prison for life. And that's going to be the end of them. There's an old saying, you can fuck with some of the people some of the time, but you can't fuck with all the people all the time. Eventually, you're going to fuck with the wrong person, and that's going to be the end of you. And I'm sure they've done this before. But I was just like, wow. I mean, it was so in your face. I couldn't believe it. But I let it go. And they paid for their items, and they walked out hand in hand. And I just kind of shook my head like, wow. Now, just imagine if it had been another black woman that might not have been so level-headed and calm like I was. It probably would have turned out bad. That black man would have stomped her out, and she would have gone to jail, and that couple would have gone on home laughing their asses off. Watch yourself, black women. Watch yourself. The enemy is all around. I'm out.